Hello everyone, welcome to today's class, and today's title is Ship Free Saturday. Let's move on to language focus. 1번. And tourists who are visiting for just a day or two are not always the best behaved folks. Okay, so as you can see, I've highlighted not always. So we know always to be as 항상, but not always. So use not always to express that sometimes something does not happen. So not always sounds like an oxymoron, like it doesn't make sense. How could it not always be like, how could you not always have something? Anyway, the way I would explain it is 항상 반드시 하지 않다. like 가끔 무언가가 발생하지 않는다. So if we look at our example sentences here, it says, I do not always agree with Marta's opinions, but we respect each other. 저는 항상 마타 의견에 동의하는 것은 아니지만 우리는 서로를 존중합니다. So, yes, so example, Marta and I have different opinions on many things. However, it doesn't mean we don't like each other. It means we respect each other and we can still get along. And the second example is very easy, which means life is not always easy. 인생은 항상 쉬운 것은 아닙니다. Yes. That is very true, and a very true thing to run your life by. Life is not always easy. Alright, let's move on to 2번 now. 2번. I don't even know how to pronounce this. Junua struggles to handle all the noise from the ships, traffic roads, hikers, and on trails and helicopters shuttling tourists around. Okay, so as you can see, I have I've underlined struggles to. I'm struggling to talk today. So use struggle to express that a task is very difficult, and there is some possibility of not succeeding at it. So struggle to, or 하기 위해 애쓰다, 몸부림치다, 뭔가가 어렵고 힘겨서 성공할 가능성이 많이 늦을 때 쓰인 편이다. So, it's difficult to do. I think we should underline difficult. And there is some possibility of not succeeding. Okay, so if we look at our example sentence, Volodya is struggling to find a job that matches her skills. Volodya is a common name that comes up. I wonder who this Volodya is in real life. Volodya는 자신의 노력에 맞는 직업을 찾기 위해서 애쓰고 있습니다. So she's struggling to find a job that matches her skills. It's very difficult to find a job to match her skills, and she may not succeed in finding a job that matches her skills. Alright. Many university students struggle to maintain good study habits. So 많은 대학생들은 좋은 학습 습관을 유지하는 것을 어려워합니다. So yes, many university students spend most of their time drinking, and they struggle to maintain good study habits. Yes, university is a time for partying, not for a time for studying. That's a lie. You shouldn't take advice from me. Anyway, now let's look at the language focus quiz. 1번. Does not always have a good, or have good, So remember, not always. We express that as 항상 반드시 하지 않다. 가끔 무언가가 발생하지 않는다. So, does not always have a good, Let's say, she does not always have a good reputation when she is drunk. So, 그녀는 술에 취했을 때 평판이 꼭 좋지만은 않습니다. When she is drunk, she makes mistakes, does silly things, is stupid, whatever. When she's not drunk, she has a good reputation, but when she is drunk, she does not always have a good reputation. 2번. Are not always friendly. Let's say the French are not always friendly. 프랑스인들은 항상 친절한 곳은 아닙니다. I hear they're very rude sometimes. But then, most countries also have very rude people. Alright, 3번. I sometimes struggle to understand. Struggle to, remember we just set it up here. Very difficult, not succeeding. So, 하기 위해 애쓰다. 몸부림치다. 뭔가가 어렵고 힘겨워서 성공할 가능성이 많이 낮을 때 쓰는 표현이다. Alright, I sometimes struggle to understand maths. So, 저는 가끔 수학을 이해하는데 어려움을 겪습니다. I hate maths. 4번. Struggle to find a way to. I struggled to find a way to complete the task. So, 저는 업무를 완료할 방법을 찾는데 고군분투했습니다. Alright, now let's look at the further discussion. 1번. Does your country have an especially busy tourist season? If so, when is it? 당신의 나라에서는 뛰기 바쁜 관광 시즌이 있나요? 그렇다면 언제인가요? I think in Korea, I think we're busy all year round. Like summer, autumn, winter, spring. I don't see, especially these days now that COVID is finished and people are coming to Korea for Hallyu, the K-wave. I don't think there is a slow time here in Korea, but I guess most Koreans will go during the summer periods and obviously the winter periods as well. We just had summer vacation here in Korea. I think, though, for people who are traveling to Korea, I see tourists all the time. Maybe that's because in other countries, you're free to take, not all countries, but many countries, you're free to take holiday leave whenever you want. In Korea, it feels like you're only allowed to take holidays during a certain period. So maybe that's why we never see a slowdown in tourists ever. 2번. What other cities in the world are struggling with over-tourism these days? 요즘 over-tourism or 과잉 관광으로 고군분투하고 있는 다른 세계 도시들은 어디인가요? I think where was it that I heard recently that was struggling with over-tourism? I think a lot of Europe is having troubles these days. Like France is always very, very busy with tourists. Italy, England, I think Spain. I'm sure they have a lot of tourist problems as well. Basically anywhere in Europe, I think, would have some problems with over-tourism. I know that we had problems here in Korea sometimes, and yeah, it just depends. I think America might even have problems with over-tourism, but I think mainly, from what I hear, Europe is usually the place that has all the tourists going to, because it's like the romantic continent of the world, I think, because it has Italy, it has France, it has Spain, Germany, etc. Whenever I hear about people going on holiday, usually it's in Europe. So I think many European countries have this problem, and of course many Asian countries as well, like Vietnam or maybe the Philippines or Thailand or something like that. I'm sure they have an over tourism situation these days. So yeah, a lot of pleases. Anyway, that wraps it up for today's class, and I'll see you on the next class.
Wildlife.
Wildlife.
Ecosystem.
Ecosystem.
Prohibit.
Prohibit.
Fed up.
Fed up.
Pristine.
Pristine.
Idyllic.
Idyllic.